Hello, GM. Today we're talking with Sean Melch. He has 6 years of shared Web2 and Web3 experiences. Fun facts that he started his own Web3 BD agency called Melch Capital and worked basically for free for first year building out clients, confidence, and positive reviews. So right now he can go and conquer new ecosystems, new projects. He is here to share all the information about lead generation, cold calling, the way how he speaks with client, how he manages multiple clients, because he is accumulating a lot of experiences from the market and he's ready to share the information with you. My name is Nikolai. You're watching Blockchain Business Builders. Interview is going to be fun. Let's go. Hello, Sean. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Nikolai. Thanks for having me on.
Amazing. Today we're going to explore how you do the sales, how you do the sales process. I know that because your superpower is managing multiple clients and bringing results for multiple clients. So we would love to learn more how you do that for a lot of folks, so we can focus more and do better sales for our companies and be a better sales professionals.
That's awesome, man. A superpower. I'm grateful. Thank you. It doesn't feel like a superpower. It feels like a ball to me every day, but I'll take it. I like superpower. That sounds good.
Okay, let's share some juice right in the beginning. What would be your top 3 takeaways for the salespeople that are doing sales in Web3? Top 3 things that you wish you would know and that would bring majority of results for all the viewers and listeners that are watching this.
Yeah, that's what we really care about, right? And as sales, that's pretty much how you should care about everything. So my top 3 things that I came up with were where I'm transitioning my business now. And I felt that was good for other BDs. You could take it at any level. I thought one was what I'm focusing on a lot these days are actually caring, how to actually send like a personalized message that shows you're not just a sleazy salesman. The second one was giving value and expecting no return, how to use that as a tool to be able to grow your business and actually get some good results for your clients. And the third one is asking for referrals, how to do that, when to do that, and to remind people to do it. It's something that people quickly forget. And those are the 3 that have really helped me get to where I am today and what I want to walk through with you during this interview.
Alrighty, amazing. Let's start unpacking them. And let's follow the structure of the normal sales process. Let's say you have a new client and you want to grow the business for them. How do you approach outreaching? What channels do you use? What's your breakdown for the outreaching and getting the person to the first meeting?
Yeah, that's the name of the game, right? If you can't get that first meeting or you can't find these people, it's just you're not going to survive as a Web3 BD, right?
Yeah, true.
So yeah, the things that I use are most of my business is run on Twitter. So that's where I'll do a lot of my lead generation.
Really?
Yeah, and in fact, a lot of times for my clients as well. I find that that's where in Web3, everybody's kind of consolidated into one place.
Yeah.
LinkedIn is another good resource, but at the end of the day, I find, okay, you can use whatever platform where you know these people are hanging out, your leads or leads for your own company. But what's more important is to go like one level deeper. Go think of where's your group and where are they going to be on that platform. One of the things that I find is very helpful is you'll always think, okay, let's say I've got a layer 1 client. Their number 1 lead that I need to get for them are devs to build on their platform. Well, everyone just thinks, well, where can I go get devs? Try to think a little creatively. If Twitter is what works mostly for me and my team, well, where on Twitter can we find these dev guys? And in circles that are maybe a big catch-all, like is there a dev group or is there a small one that's like a hackathon that recently happened and I can connect with there and get a lead of devs that have recently submitted to this hackathon, right? So thinking outside the box and on one level deeper once you find your platform. But I find that if you're looking for a catch-all, really Twitter's the way to do it and then try to go one level deeper, thinking creatively where these guys are hanging out.
Okay, Sean, amazing. So you told us about the Twitter. In my experience, for me, Telegram works the best. I'm not a Twitter guy for sure. It's you need to build one, your personal brand there. That's in my opinion. And then the second thing, you need to be also very well connected to the community. Community is key for understanding Twitter. It's you need to know people that know people. And if you're just starting out on Telegram, it's easier just to get to the DM, especially if nobody is DMing your people and your prospects. So how do you approach going multi-channel? Because like on all these sales calls guides, everybody's saying, yo, go multi-channel because that's giving you the best opportunity to reach out. Some people say that you need at least 14 touches with the prospect to get the call booked or anything like that. Web3 is a bit different. How does it play out for you?
Yeah, that's a good point. And multi-channel brings some complexities, right? You got to find that sweet spot where you're getting your ROI for your time, but you're also, like you said, getting enough touch points with the potential lead to where they're actually going to see you or take a listen to your DM. What I find is if you're a fan of the space, like we probably all are, right? You're not just coming into crypto because you don't like it in some way. You're already a fan yourself. So if you could think of, okay, you're building your community with this outreach. So Twitter, like you said, for example, it is very much, hey, you can go to my profile. You can see who I am, what I do, like the fans and the groups that I hang out with and fun. So that's got my brand and that carries some weight with it. That will grow over time and make my outreach a lot easier because people will see, okay, oh, I like this Unreal Engine 5 game that Sean is into as well. Cool.
Yeah.
What I see is though, it gives you the opportunity to not just pop into somebody's DM, right? Like if you're on Telegram, that's your only game. That's all you have. But if you can use LinkedIn or Twitter and you can actually write like that first actionable takeaway, having a really personalized message, it takes a lot of time and it takes actually like a lot of emotional bit out of you.
Yourself into it. Yeah.
That's exactly it. You have to give a bit of yourself, and you're going to do that 100 times a day with 100 strangers. It will drain you. But if you do that, you're going to show, hey, I actually care. A good example is yesterday, I had a lead for my company who's brand new, never spoke with them before, just saw that they followed me. And this was how I walked through that process was I followed back. So they got to see me in their notifications. I DM'd them saying, thanks for the follow. And then I put a very personal, I went through, I did my research on them. I really actually loved their game. I'm big into video games. So I knew how to talk the terminology and I put that in my DM. And then I went through and liked some of their posts and commented on it, something valuable, not asking for anything, not saying like, oh, cool game, right? Give a piece of yourself in that personalized message. And now you've popped up like 3 or 4 or 5 times right there. And even if they don't take the time to look at it now, when you circle back next month and you say, your game launched, oh my God, I just played my first game. It's amazing, right? I find that that's really easy to do on Twitter, a little bit harder on other platforms, but you can carry that forward into multi-platforms. And then you really just got to stay on top of your game. If you're on a lot of platforms, don't let things fall through the cracks.
Yeah, I see you're putting a very nice anchor. And then it's another thing, like at the beginning, when I just started my journey, I wanted to follow up all the time. Like it was like a maniacal control over the prospect. Like I wanted to, I send you a message, then you do this, but it doesn't work like that time. I saw that majority of the results is when you spend some time crafting this message or a strategy and then you send it out and then you don't even think about it. If they reply, good. If they don't reply, like, oh, that's okay. And then you don't need to follow up prospects like every few days. As you said, like you follow up them like 1, then 2 times, then 3 times. And then if they not respond, not interested, just follow up them in 1 month, in 3 months, and still keep popping up, because then it's just gonna generate that you're relevant. If you're relevant and if you're there, then this is a very good point. And another like 2 strategies, like for example, that you can use that will still generate decent results, and you don't need to to put a lot of your energy. You can still do that with the most important prospect, but if you want to do something more on the scale, the 2 strategies that I saw that work. First strategy is when you're just genuinely curious about what the project is doing and you want to get them on the call to learn more about the project, because it's genuine. You want to learn if they're a very good fit, like this is your theory, then you're just asking with them, and your message can be built around not, hey, this is what we do, that's how we can help. Your message can be built, hey, I really like what you're doing, can you tell me more? And then you're getting them to the call, and you can see on the call if it's a good fit. That's like kind of one approach. And the second approach is you can take the message in the way that, hey, I'm building this and this for this amount of days, months, years, whatever it means. And this typically brings this kind of results. Curious, like, what do you think about them? And, start the conversation like that.
Yeah, those are 2 really great strategies. And I think the backbone of those 2 strategies are you're actually caring. Like if you really are going to take that amount of time and you're going to take that approach, you're actually caring more about what they're doing. And then if it happens to fit, I think most people forget with cold outreach, it's all about timing, right? Timing and then trust. Can you deliver on what you say you're going to do? But you know what? If I'm not looking for a guy to do cold outreach or to find me new leads, it's not going to happen. It's just bad timing. So by you taking that approach, that's what you're learning. You're learning, is this good timing for them? And if it isn't, okay, then cut it out there, move to the next lead. So I like those a lot.
Yeah. And curious, how do you manage multiple niches, multiple industries? Because like you need to work with different clients. For me, it's easy. We have like 1, maybe 2 personas that are sometimes changing, but in majority of times it's like stable. How do you do it when you need to reach out to developers, from developers to gamers to whatever?
Yeah, I don't. That's always tough, and I find that my team usually juggles anywhere from 4 to 6 clients at a time, which seems to be where we land. It's good. I mean, you're never focusing on more than 2 clients part-time. That's how we'll manage it. But you figure, okay, you're doing your own outreach for my own company, right? We need leads to come in. You're then doing outreach for at least 2 clients, right? So do you do it all from one persona? Do you split it up? Do you have it act differently? I actually have never broken it down at all. I use me. You'll see my Twitter, Melch. I use that for everything, for my own company, for my clients. And surprisingly, you can still get your personality across too. Like, hey, this is who Melch is. This isn't just a business. This is a guy, and this is his personal brand. And I haven't broke that down into anything, and it's actually helped. So running it all off of one brand and one persona has let people see what they need to see, right? If it's like, okay, here's the professional, here's his previous results, or okay, this is who he is as a guy. Yeah, I trust him. And then you just see it kind of all blends together. But that's because I'm hyper focused on one thing: generating leads, cold calling them, right? I don't fracture. And I think a lot of BD guys, we get really excited about new things, right? Chase that shiny penny and a new project or something. Make sure you don't do that. Make sure you're very focused on like, hey, I generate leads and I cold call them for you to get users on your platform. That's it. That's all I do it doesn't matter if you're an NFT marketplace, DeFi, a video game, it's all the same. We're going to get users on your platform, and that's how we do it.
Yes. Okay. And how about cold calling? You're very rare guy that does a cold call.
It's not fun, man. Like smile and dial is what I always call it. It's like the term, right? It's not a whole bunch of fun.
Do you use any special software for that? Is it harder in Web3 than in other industries?
It is, because I find there's just no infrastructure, right? If you, like in the Web2 days, somebody's got, all the top software, and, you can click on your laptop and just wear some headphones, and the cold calls just go out every click that you do. So it is a lot slower of a process in a lot of ways. But what I find is it's such a blue ocean. Not a lot of people are doing it, that you can come in with your own style and your own approach, maybe at a slower rate, but you're still going to get results. So personalized DMs, that is a way that we probably do at least half to 75% of our outreach is literally a manual DM, and then manual reply, manual like. That's the space still allows for that because it's not super saturated or 40, 50 years old. Now that won't last forever. So what we also incorporate is a couple AI tools that will do cold messaging, that will like do a mass messaging and then track the results, right? So hey, you can do a couple hundred per week. Here's how many clicked, here's how many opened, here's the replies, here's the ones that bounced, right? And they're gonna go around the red flags, like gonna mark you as a scam, right? So we do both. It really depends on like what's the strategy to get leads onto our client's platform. If it is more of it doesn't need a personal touch, let's go with the mass outreach, the cold DM AI software. Yeah. But really, those are the two that we've been pressing on now, and those have been getting us results.
Interesting. I only found a tool for automating like emails. It's everybody understands how to automate emails. I found a tool how to automate LinkedIn. Basically allows you to create different campaigns, and then it's not only DMs, it's everything: connection requests, notifications, comments, everything. Have you found something for Telegram?
Not for Telegram. Actually, Telegram. Yeah, Twitter. For Twitter, I have. Yeah, Twitter. There's a really cool software, colddm.me, I think is what the name is. They now Twitter's always kind of hectic because they always change their APIs, right? So it's like that, the tools are always changing, and that's always frustrating. So trying to find that infrastructure that Web2 really has is going to be something that all BDs, whether you run your own company like myself or you're a BD for one client specifically, that is like crucial. You will build your infrastructure, and if you don't, you will fail, right? So, okay, I have this AI software. We brought it on. It's new. We can see that there are troubles. I need to have 2 or 3 backups to make sure we have alternatives. And every BD, Web3 BD should be doing the same because it's not built for you. You've got to go build your own.
True. Okay, then I think we can close the prospecting section. Happy customer, he's like, "Ooh, wow, interesting. Would love to learn what you have to offer." And he comes to a discovery call. How do you structurize the discovery call? How do you use any techniques for qualifying the prospect, like for quickly? So understanding like, are they a good fit or not a good fit? How do you understand that it's the right client, and how do you move them forward?
Yeah, this is like the hardest part. Even for me, who's been doing this for so many years in different industries, and I still screwed up. I screwed it up yesterday with a potential client. Hopefully they come back around and they can be salvaged. But yeah, I find that you have to just know your own what you're good at and what you're not good at. So discovery call should have one point, like you said. Let's filter them out. Can I filter them out before we even talk, right? So before we hop on that call, I'm going to send a short list of questions that are just making sure this is worth the call, right?
Yeah.
I'm then going to send a reminder text like, hey, I'll see you in an hour, or reminder DM. Looking forward to seeing you in an hour. That's a big thing in the digital space. It's even harder to get people to show up. It should be easier, but you find people are busy, right? So remind them you're going to be there be there, and that set the agenda when you're there, just like we did for this call, right? Hey, we're going to go through these topics, and it's going to take about 15 minutes. In those 15 minutes, my first thing that I like to do is make sure that we're a good fit together, right? You don't want to say like, hey, am I good for you? Are you good for me, right? Are we good together? And is the timing right? And that should be it, right? So that's usually what I'll filter out in the beginning of the discovery call. Where are you guys in your timing? Are we a good fit? And does this make sense to move to the back half of this discovery call? Now, they don't know about the back half. It's just for you internally, right? But that back half is then, the more of the details. Do you have the budget, right? Is there, do you have a strategy in place already? When do we get started, right? And then you're going to lock down each one and say, perfect. In 2 weeks, I'll send you a contract right after this call and we're good to go. But yeah, that discovery call, sometimes, I won't do the right order. I'll jump too quick into the nitty gritties. Don't do that, right? Go through the slow process really early, ask the questions, don't talk, and make sure the questions in the beginning are, is the timing good? And are we a good fit? If they are anything specific, you jump the gun too early and you'll scare them away.
Yeah, don't talk is my thing. I like to talk. And then the thing that I remember is like you have one mouth and then two ears. So you are listening twice as much as you're talking. But,
That's a good one.
For some calls, I'm again screwing some calls because I'm just talking too much and, getting all the room. Maybe it's a question of, getting more confidence, because you tend to talk when you don't feel like super confident. And on the contrary, like if you have power, like you are more like relaxed, you're chilled out. So the best tip that I received so far and that I'm trying to implement is people sell the best when they don't care. When you really, you don't feel any pressure. And this is what my first manager, like my first mentor told me, is like, go into the call with understanding that even if you say, screw this call up, nothing will happen. Like everything's going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Business is going to be fine. And adopting this kind of mindset is probably the best solution for getting to the discovery call and, having it very nice, because you can learn, like I can ask you like, what kind of specific questions do you know, what kind of stuff, what kind of this, what kind of that, but that won't matter if you don't have the right attitude. If you ask it like in a wrong tone and people understand that you're weak or you're not interested or whatever, that this would just doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so true. I still have to remind myself of that. Like, go in that, like, if you lose the sale, it doesn't matter, right? Like you don't care. That's so true. And I think you can do a lot as a BD rep to facilitate that environment mentally. Part of that is like always have a good lead list. If I know I've always got 500 more people to reach out to, oh, okay, I screwed this one up. Like yesterday, I may have screwed that one up, but you know what? I've got like 25 more referrals that I just received, and those are good to go through. So, that's very true. Yeah. Let's hope I don't keep screwing anything up.
Great. So when you have this discovery call, a lot of reps are failing at doing next steps. So they have a call, and then after the call, they're like, oh, yeah, okay, check this information. And the buyer like, yeah, fantastic. We'll check information. I will let you know soon. And then you never hear back from them. Or you need to nudge them. And then suddenly in 3 months, they tell you, oh, sorry, it wasn't a good feedback at the time because of some objection that you didn't uncover. How do you set the clear next steps? How do you move the prospect forward?
Yeah, it's amazing. You'll get through all that work that we were talking about in the beginning just to get to this point, and then you really don't want to screw up that ending and the follow-up, right? I think the number one thing that's done wrong is that you didn't uncover a certain objection, right? I find that the most common one in this space is about timing. Timing is you're working around a project and their launch, so keep that in the back of your mind. But yeah, make sure to uncover all the objections and then try to flush it out one more time at the end. Like give it one more, what am I missing? Is there anything that would stop this deal from going through next month, right? Find a friendly way that's your style to make that happen. And then always set a really firm expectation. This is one, especially on a cold outreach, is your first time going through this whole process. Your lead is still a little worried, right? They don't know you. Do they have trust? Set an expectation that's really clear that the second they get off that call, you're going to put that expectation in a follow-up message and then actually do it, right? Like what if you imagine how many people don't, right? They don't set the expectation. So you kind of get off a call like, oh, that was great, thanks. And the call ends. Okay, well, you could do that, but what if you add to that? Perfect. So it sounds like we need to go back to your foundation. That foundation is going to vote yes or no if this is worth their time. And the next meeting is in 2 days. So I'll follow up with you in 3 days on Friday at noon. Does that sound good? Right? And they go, yes, I should have all my answers by then. And then you actually do it Friday at noon. And they go, oh my God, okay, this guy, at least even if the answer was a no, I've got some trust that this guy does his job well. And down the road, I may go, hey, that guy was actually really good. He actually did what he said he was going to do. He was clear about expectations. Let's bring him on for a different job. Amazing. I think that's key.
It really resonates with, I was speaking with my mentor and she works at LinkedIn and she won like the top one is there at whole LinkedIn. So like, I was like, whoa. I didn't know, I didn't expect this, but she was so good. And then I'm asking, I was just had a conversation with her on Wednesday, and I asked her the same question, like, how do you move the deal forward? And she told me exactly this. So like, you need to set clear next steps. So you say, okay, and if they say, oh, we need some time to discuss, because that's true, the timing is the thing, and people really need to think. They really need to sync on with stakeholders. It's not the situation when you're selling a car and you're like, oh, I need to talk with my wife. It's a little bit different. You're making a business decision, so they need to sync with their partners, or something needs to happen, some discussions, and you're like, okay, fantastic, how much time do you need? And like, oh, like I need to speak with our head of product. I'm like, okay, who is his name? Jeff. Okay, when are you speaking with Jeff? I'm speaking with him next Tuesday. Amazing. So let's sync back next Thursday, like I said, follow-up call, so we can discuss through this. And if they start, if they start saying like, oh, I don't know, like they don't really want to show commitment, then you just need to say, like, strictly, but you just need to push back and say, oh, I see that probably this is not the best fit for you right now. If it's not, let's circle back, I don't know, in a few months when it will be. And you just shut up. Like you just say, you see that I'm a serious guy and I want to do some serious stuff. And it's a way better position when you're coming from, in comparison to when you're just, you just like, oh yeah, amazing, let me know how the discussion goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and to circle that back to what you said earlier, it's a very good way of showing that you kind of don't care about the sale. Not that you don't care, right? But that's my whole message. You have to care. But that, hey, if this doesn't come through, if we don't close a deal right now, that's okay.
We'll go to competitors.
Totally fine, right? Yeah, I've got more leads, right? There's more people out there, or there's somebody that's got better timing. I'm not trying to force this on you. If this isn't the right time, or Jeff from Foundation can't make the decision next week, then hey, no problem. I'm not going to force it. We'll find it when the time's right. And it's that confidence, like you're saying, you're now exuding that confidence that says, okay, this guy's business is so in control. He has other leads that he can go work with. It's you'd much rather work with somebody like that.
Yep, true. And another question is, like, when you have this one deal going, then a second one, the third one, it's only one client, and then there's multiple clients. How are you managing time? So you're basically juggling these balls in the air. How do you make sure that each ball stays in the air and you never drop?
Oh man, I think I'll always be tweaking that. It's like trying to do the impossible.
What's your like top one thing that you think it really helps you to do this? Like, without it, the system would be broken.
So, and this was one that I learned from my mentor back in web2 sales. It's making blocks on your calendar. And even if you're not super strict with them, having like a rough outline. So I'll have like, whatever, 9 to 11 in the morning is purely just replying back to people that, the millions of Telegram messages that I have. So that's all I do in the morning. I don't even think about doing anything else. And then for the next 2 hours, then I'm doing pure outreach for my company. And then in the afternoon, I'm doing pure outreach for a few hours for this lead, for this client, and then in the evening for this client. And just sticking to that cadence, right? But you've always got it blacked out. So you don't feel stressed when you're not doing it. And it's kind of like that rule, right? If you have like 3 days to clean your room, you're going to take 3 days. But if you have 30 minutes, you're going to take 30 minutes.
Exactly.
So
it's like now the law. I don't know who law this is. Like the work takes the time that you dedicate to it. If you think that I will do this task for 1 hour, it will take you 1 hour. If you say it's going to be 45 minutes, it will be 45 minutes.
Well, and then in that block too, you can make it specific. Like you can say, okay, I don't need to get 5,000 leads, but what will move this client forward is maybe 50 or 150 in just this 2 hour block that I have. So if I can get that, and now I'm setting that expectation with the client that, hey, by the end of this week, you're going to have 400 new leads. And then the following week, I'm going to cold call all of them for you. And I'm sticking to this cadence because this is where you are, right? You're going to be very communicative with the client so they know, like, why am I not seeing results right now? Well, because this week I'm going through 500 leads, and then next week I'm outreaching to them. And that lines up perfect with your new bridge launch that same week, right? So if you can really be good at putting the pieces together, communicating that, and then block off your calendar. And you'll find that, okay, it's not as stressful to be able to do all this. And then your infrastructure, like the AI tool, will find ways to build that out and speed up.
Yeah, Sean, that's true. It's everybody knows these boring things that they work, and everybody really knows what they need to do. They don't even need to sit here and listen to the podcast because we're talking about the basic stuff that everybody knows. Maybe some insights, some industry experience that we can share. But 80% people understand on the base sense what is need to be done. You just need to take some time. You need to put work. And even if you're doing a very bad job right now, keep improving. And in 12 months, you'll be better. But nobody thinks in those categories. Nobody wants to do and, get their hands muddy. That's why a lot of people churn from sales. Like they come, they are super happy. And then 12 months later, boom, you don't see them they're doing anything. They're just, they're switching. They're going to another job. So are we on track with our 3 goals? I think the last thing is the referrals. The referrals is easy business.
Yeah, referrals are lifeline. And this was drilled into me from my last job, which was 30% of your book of business had to come from referrals or you didn't get to keep your job. So it was
Really?
like, well, like,
Wow.
oh man, yeah, I probably started balding back then now that I'm thinking about it. But it really drills it into you that like, if you don't provide a good enough service, if you don't do that boring stuff that now is actually, it's hard, but nobody does it. So if you're the one guy that does do it, you show up 2 minutes before every meeting starts, you
Mm-hmm.
send that reminder text, you're doing those little things that instill trust, you're going to get referrals, or at least you're going to open the door to be able to ask for them.
Yeah.
So I try to tell every BD rep, especially in the BBB group, which has been super helpful with many things. Everybody in there, sometimes it just takes like a little reminder. Hey, you're still here.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a rough market. That means you're doing well.
Yeah.
Create a space where you can ask for a referral at any point. Maybe it's something way down the line, or maybe it is even with a cold call. If you had a good experience with a cold call and this client looks like he's coming on board for your client,
Mm-hmm.
ask them for a referral so you can bring more to your client. It can be placed anywhere, but yeah, do a good enough job that you can do it, which you can do by actually caring and doing what you say you're going to do.
True. Good that you mentioned. Last week, we even did a community breakdown on the referrals, and I shared a bunch of templates. How do you ask for referral? What's the main approach in your mindset? What is the right way to do it? How to pick a client for that? Basically, we did the whole process from top to bottom. And if you would like to get the access to it and you're Web3 BD, I don't know why you're not joining the community yet. The link is in the description. A lot of people talk about ChatGPT and how it's bringing and changing sales. And like, I also feel that. I think that 80% of SDR tasks, when you're creating lists, doing an outreach, even personalizing it, even today, you can do a very good personalization on scale with ChatGPT and then just get your CSV, put it into any email sending software like instantly, and then boom, it will be sending to people. It will be generating leads because it's relevant. Like, what do you think, what's going to happen in the next 12 months, maybe a few years with ChatGPT, with all this sales enablement software?
I do think it's going to help speed everything up and make it easier, right?
Mhm.
Maybe I think you're always going to have the human component that everyone talks about, but this
Yeah.
will help, like how we're talking about calendar blocks or using AI DM software. Like that's a version of AI, maybe not ChatGPT, but you'll see that all those are still require us to do, the human trust to trust component.
Mhm.
But that saves my time instead of handling a bunch of messages, or if I'm not feeling very creative, can ChatGPT put together a good message for me,
Yeah.
or help me get creative on where do I find some leads. I think it's going to speed up all the minutia, the really, really, really boring stuff that just
Mhm.
eats up a lot of time. That's where I see things coming in 12 months.
Yeah, like I want to put more content. Like this week, I've been posting videos for like 2 videos on ChatGPT, and the first one did like amazingly well. Because in fact, it's very simple for outreaching Fortune 500 companies, Web3 departments, and getting replies for them. I did like a small campaign. It wasn't very big, but it was 67% reply rate, which was like, I didn't expect that from people that are super busy when you just expect like 10% from them. And there is a lot of stuff that is happening, a lot of stuff where we are changing and where we're going to the future. I'm curious how our industry and how our BD efforts get us closer to Mars, get us closer to becoming the polycosmos culture, where we're not only on Earth, where we're actually going to space, because this is the next frontier. I think we already explored everything on the Earth, and the only frontier that we have is having like Web3, blockchain, metaverses, but it's in virtual worlds. It's not something that is real and true. How do you see us in the hopefully future that is not far away from us? How are we bringing the world closer to Mars, to cosmos, with Web3?
Ooh, that's a cool one. I've always been into space and rockets since I was a kid, so I
Really,
like the
that's very
question.
interesting. Have you read like a lot of fantasy books about the space and all of that exploration?
I always steered towards more the history kind of exploration of space and stuff, and
Mhm.
so it intrigues me. But where I think that this whole industry and where our little BD teams can make it closer
Mhm.
is I think that this is showing, it's giving people more ownership, right? Like you're tokenizing whatever assets, you're playing games and earning value or earning a character that you could sell, right? Your own crypto wallet, right? The whole movement is that peer-to-peer and ownership, right? We actually own this stuff. And I
Yeah.
think when you own these things, you just open up your ability to do things in life, right?
Mhm.
Like, dumb example, but you can pay to go to space right now, right? 200, whatever, like $250,000, you can ride in a space shuttle and orbit
Sounds a
the
lot.
Earth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, well, if more people own what they have, well, then their wealth grows, and then they have options. They can build new companies. They can go to outer space, right? You're just able to do more because you own real value. And I think
Mhm.
that what I love doing and why I love BD here and why I'll be here, for many, many years is it's that the more people that I can help get on these platforms and find that they can generate value and own something themselves, that's a better world that I believe in. And so it sounds dumb, right? It's like, well, yeah, you're just doing cold outreach, but really you're getting a lot of people into this world, onto these platforms, and showing them how they now own something that they can control and that they can have value in, which opens up all the doors to maybe one day go to Mars.
Wow, what an episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Few key takeaways from the call to instantly boost your process if you implement them. So the first thing, when you're doing the prospecting, think about your users, think about your prospect, think about your buyers. Where do they hang out? Find those communities, go there and get them. It may be a different platform, it may be a different community. Go to and find the pond where there is a fish. Second thing, when you're on a discovery call, important thing is your preparation and how do you feel about the discovery call. Adopt the mindset that I will be fine, even if the discovery call goes bad. And aim for unqualifying the prospect fast. So think about why it's not a good fit for working together. Spend your first 15 minutes trying to filter them out and see if there's any blocker that you didn't uncover that will break the deal in the process. Because for you, it's easier to unqualify them and move on to another lead than spend with them another few calls and burn some of your mental health. And the last thing is when you're approaching the calendar is the most important tool, and the way you can navigate it, just block off the time and commit to it. It's boring, it's very simple solution, it's very easy, but this is the best hack for productivity. Just pick a slot and commit to the time to doing that activity then. And this is going to be bringing you the most results in terms of managing different clients. Sean is working with all of them. He's doing a lot of stuff and he's a very busy guy. If you want to be a very busy guy and if you want to be effective in what you're doing, block off your calendar and you'll be good. Thank you for watching this video. Sign up for the Blockchain Business Builders community down below, and also for all the Sean links also going to be down below. Check it out. See you guys. Bye-bye.